Hey guys, this is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching. This is going to be a really interesting video on helping you get to the next level in your doubles games. What do you need to do to, first of all, start winning a lot of matches at your level and then get to that next level? So if you're a 3-0, going to a 3-5. If you're a 3-5, going to a 4-0, 4-0, going to a 4-5. So let's start with the 3-0 level. What are some of the skills that you're going to need and some of the strategies? First one that I think is going to help you guys out a lot, I call it the rule of 3. And that's simply, any way you can, is making 3 balls in a row cross court. You and your partner are going to say, however we can do it, we're hitting the ball cross court. We're not going at the net person. We're not being tempted to take the ball up the line. We're going to make 3 shots in a row, and you will be surprised at how many points you win, because lots of times people, they either go down the line too early or they just can't. They're just not very consistent yet at the 3-0 level. And so that's one skill I want you to work really, really hard on. Another one is making your volley. Just being able to make volleys, not having to worry about putting the ball away, but just not making mistakes. So many times there'll be a point and someone does take it up the line, and typically the team that blows those volleys, that they try and do too much with it, is the team that loses. So just get good at putting the ball in play. One of the best things you can do, rather than always thinking about you got to go with that net person, is just putting the ball short in front of you. Typically people do not move well forward, especially at the 3-0 level when you're talking about league tennis. The other thing that I want you to really work on is getting a very good high lobby shot, not glamorous, not glorifying, right? But a nice high lob shot cross court that bounces high. Because there's not many 3-0 players I've seen that can either take the ball on the rise and look good doing it, having a nice stroke, or moving back and having that time of letting it drop and then still stroke the ball. Most of the time they move back and they end up hitting like this. And this is where they make mistakes, or they just pop it back up and give the net person a chance to do something with the ball. Now, if you want to move up to the 3-5 level, I think you are going to have to, in your practices, really start to get good and get comfortable with the net more, making sure you got the continental grip on your volley and putting your volleys away. If you can start to put your volleys away and improve your technique all around on all your shots and just getting just a little more firepower on the ball, you will quickly move up from a 3-0 to a 3-5 player. All right, let's talk about the 3-5. Again, I still think consistency is something that's going to get you to the next level. I still like the rule of 3. I think that if you can start to develop a second serve, you're going to stand out. And that will also really help you get up to the next level. If you can start, if you're a 3-5 and you go with a frying pan first serve and maybe you can hit it pretty hard, then you got a powder puff second serve. If you start working very hard on developing a second serve that's got the continental grip and being able to spin the ball, you will then quickly go up from a 3-5 to a 4-0 if you have a second serve that's not getting attacked, that you can actually do something with. Putting away volleys is again key. Now, when you're at the 3-5 level, you should be expected to be putting your volleys away within 1 or 2 shots. If you don't, you're going to get lobbed. Let's see. Still sharpening your technique. I think that's a big issue. You'll notice, I think you can usually tell the difference between a 3-5 and a 4-0 player. They're so close, but the 4-0 player typically has their strokes are starting to look pretty sharp. You can see a difference in, like, oh, that, a lot of 4-0 players have some pretty nice strokes. So developing and getting better at your all-around technique is going to help you get to that 4-0 level. What wins at that 3-5 level is the ability to put some balls away when you get the opportunity and being consistent, because people still blow a lot of easy shots at the 3-5 level. So if you can do those 2 things, you're going to win a lot of matches, and then you're going to get up to that 4-0 level. Now again, believe it or not, at the 4-0 level, the rule of 3 is still something that I firmly believe in. I want you to have that rule of 3, being consistent. And now this is at this level where you want to be able to start handling pace. When you can start to handle pace, you're going to win a lot of matches at that 4-0 level. And you're also going to start to win a lot, be invited to play at a 4-5 level, because That is one of the differences you'll notice when you're playing a 4-0 match and you look at the 4-5 match. Usually the firepower is a little more there, and then the people who are able to absorb that firepower and return it, that's a skill that a lot of people don't think about developing. But if you can handle firepower, you can go out there and start to play 4-5 tennis. Being consistent with your overhead and your lob. If you can be consistent with your overhead and your lob, you are going to start to win a lot of matches at 4-0 and then be bumped up to the 4-5 because at the 4-5 level, typically, that's the first level I see where people can actually put overheads away. And they usually have pretty good feel and can do really nice lobs on purpose, where, you know, the 3-0, 3-5 level, there's some people who can lob pretty well on purpose, but lots of times it's an accident. But the 4-0 level, you're starting to develop a pretty decent lob. But at 4-5 level, most people can hit a pretty nice lob and are starting to develop a decent overhead. So that's going to move you up. And you want to start to get a little more aggressive with the court position. If you want to get up to that 4-5 level, you can't be over here hiding in the alley. You've got to step out here more towards the middle and be ready to take balls in the middle. And just be a little more adventurous on the court is going to take you from being that 4-0 to the 4-5 player. So there you go, guys. That's how you can go from being a 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 to the 4-5 level. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think your #1 challenge is below. Comment below. Let me know what you think your #1 challenge is when it comes to being able to go from what level you are now to where you want to go. What do you think you need to add to your game that will help you get there? And if you comment there below, I will make sure to answer your questions as best I can. Also, there'll be some more videos coming up for you to watch if you like watching instructional videos. And make sure to like this video, because that makes me feel good. That makes my day when you all give me a nice like. So give me a nice like. Let me know you appreciate these videos, and I'll keep them coming. And subscribe if you are already not a subscriber on my YouTube channel. All right, that's it. This is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching signing off. Hopefully you enjoyed this video on doubles and getting to the next level.